Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you're doing or learning to do. Pele. My friends, 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. I heard something really interesting the other day. If you do something 18 minutes a day, that's 100 hours a year. You will have more skill than 99% of the people on the planet. Is that not crazy? Whether it's learning to play the guitar, learning to drive a motorcycle around a dirt track, whatever it might be. And for us, we say 10 to 15 minutes each and every day following these charts. If you would just do that, you will learn this. You will garner a skill set that will reap incredible dividends. And people say, well, how long will it take? I don't know. But what else do you have to do? And once you garner this skill set, you'll make up for all the time you ever spent. So just stick to it. It's the one thing people can't do. That's why there's always room at the top, because most people don't have the guts it takes to stick it out. They just move on to something else, and they keep having little pipe dreams that dissolve into nothing. Let's start with the charts, with the S&P, as we always do. We see stocks are up for the day, Bitcoin up a little bit, bonds and gold down. Now, as we look at the S&P 500, we can see where things popped up for the day, still below on both the half-day and the two-day chart, still below that weekly trend line. So we will watch and see if things going to bump back up above it, or is this going to peter off and die? If we look at where things are on the weekly, you can see, decent average volume these 2 weeks where it looks like, things are selling off. You've got high volume, average volume, higher than what you saw before until we got to the drop and then the turnaround. And so sort of portending maybe the insider selling things off, that's where we've had the highest high. We haven't reached that again. That was during the week beginning May the 1st. Now we do see a green up candle for the week. And again, we'll keep watching, waiting, and seeing which way this goes. Are we going to go back up to the highs during that week of May the 1st, or is this going to die on the vine? We don't have red candles yet, so we're not jumping in, but we are watching with bated breath to see where the market goes. What about the Qs? Well, on the Qs, it continues to move up. Now, we've been talking about that since we had this initial green candle and things going up, sliding sideways for a while, but keeping, moving steadily up 1.21%. In fact, the S&P was up 1.21% also. But we do see price on the 2-day and the half-day above the weekly trend line. So NASDAQ 100 going in that up direction, reaching higher highs. Let's move on to bonds. Bonds down again for the day, 0.29%. You can see prices below the weekly trend line on the 2-day and on the half-day, sort of settling out a little bit over the last 2 days at a bottom. We'll see what happens with that. Nothing super exciting about, down moves. I had to stretch this out a bit for you, but you do see things moving down. TBF is our inverse fund, as though you've been with us for a while. That is a single inverse. It's liquid. And of course, it's been going up. We had that last one. It did all right for us at that 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. But you can see where on this it is moving up. TBF, that's the single short inverse for TLT. That's what you trade when TBF or when TLT is going down. That's what you want to practice trade. That's where we are. Again, things still moving in that negative direction. Shorting TLT, that's what we like. Let's look at gold. Gold down for the day again. We can see where it pushed through on Tuesday, down a little more on Wednesday. Good, it reached a lower low in the morning, not quite as much in the afternoon, but again, we can see that price is below that prior trend line. We haven't tried to redraw a trend line yet. We can see on the 2-day, representing Tuesday and Wednesday, a nice red down candle. And of course, the half day shows us why that 2-day is a red down candle. And of course, why the weekly is a red down candle. So moving in the opposite direction, we'll continue to keep an eye on gold. It did quite well for us. And of course, it has reversed at this point. What about Bitcoin? Up for the day 1.82%, but you can see it's still below the weekly trend line on both the half day and the 2-day. Some real indecision there. What do I want? Of course, I want Bitcoin to keep going down. I want to see it develop a nice, sweet pattern like we have on the S&P. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Once it starts doing that, we'll feel much more comfortable about being able to jump in and do some practice trades on Bitcoin. We're not seeing that yet. We'll continue to watch for that. By the way, Patreon members, yesterday, I didn't get it out to you yesterday, but I will load it on the Patreon page today. We have charting cryptos and commodities and the 3-wave trades. Those are the liquid ETFs and stocks that I track for you and give you some possible curated practice trades for you to pay attention to and learn from. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters. If you're not a Patreon member, you appreciate what we do, then help underwrite the costs of the channel. What you support tends to stay around. God bless, my friends.